to Flanks06 channel. Today we got some Tanares Ultimate content here for you. I have Code and Lord Tyshin here with me today to talk about some of the new heroes that are coming to you guys here real soon with Tanares Ultimate. And we're going to go over their abilities and their hero cards and how they'll be used in PvE. If you've seen any of my short videos, I've already done a quick preview on pretty much all the characters we have in here. I didn't go over their hero cards, but we'll kind of get some more in-depth discussion on these characters and even kind of some revealing from the hero cards. So you can see that because Tyshin and Code have not actually seen those yet. All right, so anyway, I just moved the heroes, even though they are specials, which I'll talk about here in a second. But I've moved them to the different class areas, and we'll get into it. So we'll be starting off here with Zisenuh the Barbarian Lord. Oh, and thanks for joining, guys.
Hey.
Hey, good to be here.
It's been a long time. It's been a long time.
Too long for most people.
I know, right? All right, so let's jump into Zisenuh the Barbarian Lord. So, like I said, Zisenuh the Barbarian Lord and all of the Kemet Lords, and in fact, pretty much all of the new Tanares Ultimate heroes are of the special class, technically. And so usually what a special means is they have unique abilities that kind of separates them differently from the normal heroes. So in the past, we've had Harun, the Faceless Emperor, Talessa, and Golug. But now we have the Kemet heroes. But the thing that makes them different this time is they actually get a passive that matches to the class of one of the original 7 and, well, really 8 classes. So we have Zisenuh here, who is a brute, and he will be able to fulfill that in as a role in PvE. Now for PvP, he still counts as a class, as a special class. So you could have, theoretically, and this is going to be, I think, kind of a fun discussion point here. You could have Gaknak and Zisenuh on the same team because Zisenuh is a special and not a brute, technically. So anyway, let's go over his abilities here, and then we can kind of discuss these as we're going. So Earth Cleaver, his first primary, range 1 enemy, 10 damage. Push 1 the target, echo 4, and push 1 the enemy that took this echo's damage. So echo is basically you got to do 4 damage here to somebody that's within range 8, and then you also get to push him. So really you're getting 2 different pushes on this one, which to me is pretty awesome because you're going to be able to really kind of, it's really just a range push, right? So you could be like throwing people in lava, 2 different characters in lava at the same time.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of anybody that
Has
pushes
something
two people, and I can only think of pushing 1 at a time, other than like ultimates, like some of the special attacks that people do. Like Avalum's Shockwave.
Yeah.
That pushes 2 people. So,
yep.
I mean, force movement, always strong. Always have to love force movement.
Yeah. Arcane Blast is the one that gets to move people that you hit. But, yeah, this one's good, actually, because you don't even have to hit that second person. You just hit, your primary target, and you get that. So, getting 4 damage. So really that's a total of 14 damage on hit there. And then 4 damage from your brutality if you were able to hit that. So that's 18. And theoretically, right, if we're going that you could throw 2 people in lava, that's, what's that turn into? Like 26 damage?
Yeah.
Whew. It's
It's a good hit.
that's a pretty good one if you can get all those prereqs there.
Prerequisites and split up between two different people.
Yeah.
Or if you have two guys on you, you get them out of your way, and if you need to move.
Yep. There you
Yep.
go. Get like a tank out of the way there. All right, and let's
Takes
move.
solid ability.
Yeah, definitely. Let's go to his next primary ability, Raging Strike. Range 2, one enemy. Drawback, you are cursed for this attack, and you ignore Blessed. So even if you get Blessed, that does not help you. And on a miss, you will take 3 damage. So a little risk reward there. 17 damage on hit, and the effect is if both of your natural rolls were 11 plus, the target takes 3 plus damage. So
Potential 20.
yeah, so that's actually pretty interesting because really it's, you're cursed, so you're gonna have to roll twice, and basically it's saying if you in both those rolls you still rolled pretty well. I mean, I think all of you guys would probably agree 11 plus is a pretty good roll, and in most cases if you hit that, you hit your target, right? Like,
Yes.
very rarely I think there's a situation where you don't hit within a 11.
I mean, even Rurik protected is an 11, which would hit him.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so then if both of your natural rolls, yeah, so then you get 3 more damage there. So that's a 20 damage on hit if you can get both your rolls. That's a spicy meatball. Although you do have the downside here of taking 3 damage if you do miss. So with your rolls, you might want to be a character you stay away from, Taishan.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a move I personally probably would not use. I am cursed to begin with, let alone having curse put upon me. But I mean, it's a 2 square away attack, so you have versatility in that. Definitely, you're going to want to get in situations that are going to improve your odds. Getting exposed through mobbing, or having exposed thrown on them to try and just lower that armor class to make sure that for sure you're going to at least hit. But yeah, if you can get plus 11 on both of those and do 20, and even if you're alone, that 24 damage, that's a special attack for most classes, not a basic attack.
Yep. That's a hard one there. So yeah, you're definitely really increasing your chance. You could take damage by missing, but if you do get it, it's gonna be a hard hit there, and it's a range too, which is getting an additional square to be able to make an attack like this is always very good. All right, so let's move to one of his specials here. Back off. Range 1, one enemy, 15 damage on hit. The effect push to the target, then blast 5. And you get a permanent if an enemy hits you without mob or focus. All enemies in 5 of you take 3 damage after the attack resolves. All right, so what are you guys thinking on this one?
I think that's definitely something you want to get onto pretty early in the game. Because that's, usually, even though he's technically special, he pretty much is a brute, and a lot of times brutes die early on in PvP. So, makes them think twice about attacking him, unless you have mob or focus.
Yeah, it is definitely interesting for that reason, especially. It's pretty much almost like a defensive type of ability for a brute character, really. I mean, yeah, well, I guess you could see it either way, right? Either you don't attack him, or you try to do so much damage to him as quickly as you can to make sure that does not go off, because all enemies in 5 taking 3 damage. If we're talking about PvP, that would be Um, most likely, right? 12 damage.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a lot of times, especially in PvP, we see a lot of times in the, especially last tournament, there's a lot of bunch ups, so that can be lethal per turn.
Yep. So that's a lot there. And the other part, getting that push to blast 5, that's another area effect, really. So you push somebody, and then the square that they, or all the adjacent squares they land in, basically will do 5 damage to any enemies that are in there. So, yeah, you can get quite a bit of damage just even on this attack here to that effect. All right, so let's go to his next special, which I think many people probably are most excited for. I know I was when I read this character. Range 1, 1 enemy, Immortal Warrior, 18 damage on hit. You get a permanent effect here. Choose an ally. If you are dead at the start of that ally's turn, revive with 10 HP and regain this special attack. If the ally with this effect dies, you regain this special attack. This attack cannot be removed or copied. Wow. The Immortal Warrior is very fitting, I would say.
Yeah, that's kind of a nutsy ability.
Not to mention it does 18 damage. Like you throw this out there, and then you have the opportunity to get it back, and then you do another 18 damage, putting it back out there. Like that's nothing to be sneezed at for sure.
Yeah, just that on hit damage, even by itself, being able to regain this special attack. There's not many. There's only a few heroes I think that actually have like, special regains, right? So I mean, Zafara's the one that comes to mind most quickly for me. With Revenge of the Dead.
Yeah, the only thing that comes to mind that would function similar to this is Mark of Death.
Yep, that is a pretty close
where,
one too. If you miss.
If you miss, it still does 15 damage. So like oftentimes you're like, I really don't care if I hit or miss. Like it's gonna do 15 damage or 25, and like
yeah,
it's doing what it needs to.
Exactly. So
yeah, that's pretty solid. I think it's interesting at the end it says this attack cannot be removed or copied. And Jagori has started doing like in the drawback that this attack cannot be copied, removed, or regained. And so I was surprised that they didn't put it up in the drawback section that it's part of the permanent.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
So like that would imply to me that you actually can copy or steal this. But once it's a permanent effect, then you can't copy or steal it.
Yeah. Nope, that's a good point there. So pretty much you would want to make sure he does not get this off, because once he has it, it's not coming off.
Correct. Yeah, and this would be a great opportunity for you to be able to be like, well, I'm going to steal your Immortal Warrior, put it on myself, and now you can't remove it or copy it.
That would be spicy. All right, so that's exciting. So Zisenuh, Barbarian Lord, he's definitely high damage brute character, or special character that acts like a brute. Very fitting for him and his character, who goes around the battlefield wiping out everyone. Here is his hero card. So he, like I said, he is a special, but he can act in the place of like a brute in the campaign. Trigger, no ally is within one of the target. So same as normal brute characters. The effect dealing +4 damage or +6 damage if the target is fatigued. So in the Tanares campaign, fatigued basically means that a villain character has already taken their turn. And once they have already taken their turn, they are classified as fatigued. So if you attack somebody that is fatigued already, you'll get 6 damage. Otherwise, it'll just deal 4 damage. And then he's got his stats here at the bottom, which, I think is pretty standard for most characters. we'll probably talk about these more as we get to the characters with like 6s and stuff, because you get a lot of benefit from so in the world phase and city phase, there's a lot of things that you can buy once you hit like a 6. But if you don't have that, then you have to kind of piece together a couple characters like together, right? So like if you teamed up even with his spycraft and the lore abilities here with somebody else, then you could get, you know, some effects in the city or world phase, depending on what you're trying to go for.
Yeah, I feel like his passive, I mean, as unique as his attacks are, like his passive seems very underwhelming.
Yeah.
It's like if you, I think Qatar's passive is almost exactly that.
I don't think it's Qatar's. I thought it was. I think Ravel actually has one that's very similar. That's based on like a fatigued. So yeah, it's okay. I mean, it's, you know, it's more damage basically for him.
It's not bad. It's just not like blowing my mind.
Yeah.